What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Miguel. You're watching Miguel EDC, the channel where we talk everything EDC gear here. And today we're checking out another knife, do another quick unboxing video, first reactions type of video here. You may have already seen the title and thumbnail. Obviously, that's how you got here. But just to know, I think I know, I don't remember what knife this is, but I do believe this is a company that reached out to me via IG, slid into the DMs and said, hey, can we send you this model so you can check it out and share with your audience? And I was like, sure, go for it. And so I'm excited to check out this knife and share the experience with you guys. Doing the honors today, we got this treat right there. This is a beast of a awesome EDC treat there, the WinterBladeCo Severn, right? I just got this one unboxed like literally earlier today, and I just been carrying this one nonstop, and I'm going to continue to carry this one nonstop. I'm just excited for this knife. Check out the unboxing on that one if you haven't already. And of course, this knife, the one in the box here, and any other knife that you see in this video will be linked down below. So if you're interested on picking one up for yourself or checking availability, prices, variants, all that stuff, I can't guarantee availability, but I'll do my best to link to as many websites as I possibly can. So if you're interested on picking one up, you actually can, right? So that being said, let's go ahead and cut through the thing. This is like a typical Amazon package here. So we're going to just do an incision right there. Bam, putting that sheep's foot blade geometry to work. And without further ado, let's take a look, right? We have a NedFoss, guys, NedFoss brand knife here. This is on the budget category. We have checked out some other NedFoss knives before, and they have this new model, right, that they designed, and they showed me some pictures, and I was like, yeah, it looks pretty interesting. Go ahead and send it my way. That way I could share with you guys. So shout out to NedFoss for sending this one in. Super grateful and appreciative of that. The model we're looking at here is the NedFoss Cougar pocket knife. It comes from overseas in China. So without further ado, let's go ahead and open the box here. Gonna open this tab here, bada bing, bada boom, and sliding out the package, the pouch. That's a little bit of a tight squeeze, tight fit right there, to say the least. It comes in this zipper pouch, has the carbon fiber weave going on here, which is nice. So let's take a look, right? I'll zipper this bad boy, and bam, what are we looking at? We got some nice cushiony inside. There's the knife itself. We have a nice little carry pouch as well. So you got the case, and then you got this other pouch. You have a T6, T8 tool bit right there. And then we have sort of the instructions manual here. Thank you for choosing NedFoss. You can pause the video and enjoy this beautiful 4K resolution. If you want to read through that, you're more than welcome to. But let's go ahead and get this out of the way here. And let's check out the knife itself. Let's take a look. All right, if you guys are ready, I'm ready. Boom, here it is, ladies and gentlemen. Here it is. So what are we looking at here? So we have, again, I believe it's called the Cougar. Yes, called the Cougar from NedFoss. And I do believe, I'm not sure, don't quote me on this, but I think it may be their very first button lock. Now, they've done a lot of flippers, frame locks, and liner locks, and things like that. But this might be, if I understand correctly, their first button lock. Let's give it a nice little wipe here since it's coming out of the box brand new. It has, you know, some oils and things like that going on. Are we working with titanium here? No, this is, it looks like titanium, but it is stainless steel, right? I want to say, I mean, for a stainless steel to look like this, that's pretty nice. It's pretty nice looking gray stainless steel going on there, right? It makes sense. It should come in, this one should come in at a pretty good price. I'll tell you that right now. And of course, it will be linked down below. So we have the button deployment, and then we have a fuller, but also a opening on the blade there for the you know, different deployment methods. We have a deep pocket carry clip, which is nice, very interesting there. About that much of the knife is going to be tucked away. And let's see, a good tension to it. It is not reversible, I noticed. But yeah, let's just go ahead and cut to the chase here. Let's go ahead and deploy this thing, shall we? Right, button lock first. Bam. All right, so let's take a look here. Solid lock up, no left and right, side to side, up and down, none of that wiggling or anything like that. It is rock solid, welded in place. We got some oils going on this blade. Let me give it a nice wipe here so you guys can take it all in. I do believe they have different options. They have a drop point, they have a clip point, and they have a Warncliffe. I believe they gave me the option. I picked the Warncliffe, which is the one that you're looking at right here. And yeah, let me give you guys a second to take it all in right now. Take a look at this thing, 14C 28N, which is everyone's favorite budget steel right now. It's actually printed a little bit big on the blade. If it could be printed maybe a tad bit smaller, that would have been even more appreciated, but really not a lot of billboarding going on the blade for the most part, which is always welcome. We have a beautiful satin finish going on here with the folder right there. Makes it pop right there, which is nice. Very pokey tip going on, which is good. And you know, the button lock, it does stand a little bit proud once it is engaged. But when the blade is closed, right, it actually sits very flush. Take a look there, right? Difference between, you know, not engaged versus engaged. Of course, it is a plunge lock button lock, as you would expect. And let's check out the action. So this one is on ball bearings, right? Very smooth action going back and forth. I gotta say, I think, you know, I'm gonna confirm on these if they are stainless steel or aluminum scales. They don't feel cold enough to be aluminum, and they are magnetic here, so I'm thinking it's some sort of steel. But the fact that it's not all that heavy, like that's, I mean, it does have some milling going on the inside, so that helps with the weight department. It's definitely very much milled on the inside for weight reduction. But weight department, I mean, 4.1 ounces for a large knife like that, that's not bad, really not bad at all. That translates into 117 grams right there for my friends across the pond. So yeah, pretty decent weight for EDC. I mean, considering you are carrying a large knife. So what else do we have going on here? Let's try some of the other deployment options. The thumb deployment, boom, that's good. Bam, right? Solid opening right there. And then the reverse flick right here. Whoops. Boom. Okay. All right. All right. That's pretty sweet. Pretty nice. All right. Pretty gnarly reverse flick. And of course, I'm trying to calibrate for which one I like the most. Well, so far, so good right there. Check it out. All right. This one can turn into a pretty fidgety knife pretty quick. Already getting the vibes, getting the feel for that. The tip. Okay. We might have a little bit of an issue here with the tip. So it definitely lands about right there. So if I do run my finger into, you know, like it's actually, yeah, it would actually, you know, I can feel the tip right there if I do run my finger through the blade. I mean, nothing crazy. I would never really be doing this in a real life scenario, but yeah, definitely I am feeling that tip for sure. So it's something that other companies typically you know, would make the tip a little bit shorter to make sure it doesn't poke, even if you were to run your finger along the sides of the scales like that. So that's, again, first impressions. I am feeling that tip a bit there. As far as these scales, I mean, these scales are finished pretty well compared to some of the other knives I've seen from NedFoss before. They have, you know, kind of raised the bar, raised their quality a tad bit, to say the least. And, you know, we got some nice chamfering, rounded edges there all throughout, which is pretty good. Let's check the ergonomics here, right? We have a nice rounded section for your index finger. All other fingers follow suit. And bam, I am locked in right there, right? You do have the sharpening choil right there, which you can forward choke, right? Finger choil, sharpening choil, call it what you want. But that forward choke position right there, boom, I'm locked in with some jimping on the blade. All right, sign me up. All right, and we're gonna do our scientific cutting test here in just a moment, but ergonomically feels good so far. Right, what I say, if anything, I don't like that the button sticks out all that much. I would have to intentionally want to press the button, so otherwise, see, my thumb is like this. I tend to lock up like that or like this, but in order for me to disengage, I will have to intentionally want to disengage, I feel. So even if I were doing this, right, even if I were doing that, I'm kind of close to the button, but I actually have to push it in all the way in order for it to disengage. If you're a lefty, you're nowhere near where the button is, all right? So you are good to go, all right? And lefties can use this knife as well. I mean, here's my very untrained left hand trying to get a reverse flick out of it. There it is. Of course, I can use the button to deploy and close, but I'm surprised they didn't make the pocket clip reversible. Seems like they could have easily just drilled another hole right here and made it reversible, right? That's maybe something to keep in mind there. Maybe it was intentional that they made it this way. They do plan to make a lefty version, perhaps. But, I mean, overall, you know, making a really great impression. Again, captive pivot with their new logo. Seems to be this end right there, so that's nice. And the TA in the pivot there, everything else seems to be a T6. Oh, this is interesting. Do we have a T6 and a T8? I think we may have that situation going on here. A T6 on this one, this side of the pocket clip on the left side, and a T8 on the other side. Am I really seeing that right, or am I just having a long day today? Let's see. I got a TA bit right here, so that goes well in the pivot. And here's my TA bit. And nope, clearly I am. No, the T6 definitely dances there a little bit. So this one is a T6. So is that one. But this other one, is that a T7 then? Is it a T7 on the right side? Wow. Okay. So wouldn't you know it, it is actually a T7 on the other side. So I'm not exactly sure what's going on there, right? T6 here and T7 there. T6 on the rest of the body screws and T8 right there. That's about 3 different T6, T7, and T8. So I'm not exactly sure. I'll reach out to them and ask why they put a different one on there. Maybe it's just as a one-off case. Let's do some quick size comparisons here as usual. Right here, the most common popular knives that you probably already own yourself. If you're considering buying a good knife, or this knife, or any knife for that matter, you're probably a knife enthusiast. Maybe you're getting into the hobby, who knows? If you are, congratulations, right? You're in for a fun roller coaster experience. That being said, the PM2 on top there is a little bit bigger, Para 3 is a little bit shorter. So the Cougar is a nice in between, as you can see. Here it is next to the Demko AD 20.5 and the smaller brother, the Shark Cub. Take a look there for yourself. Actually a little bit bigger than both of them. Here's the Civivi Vision FG, very popular knife from last year. So is the Sentinel Strike. The Sentinel Strike is definitely bigger, whereas the Civivi Vision FG is definitely more comparable, as you can see. Here's the popular Vosteed Raccoon and the CJRB Pyrite. Both of these are going to be a little bit shorter than the Cougar. Take a look there for yourself. And last but not least, here's the NedFoss W SWAN. That's another model from NedFoss. Has their lion logo right there instead of the new N logo, which is very interesting. And here's the Vosteed Talarurus, right? This one is obviously a little bit shorter. The W SWAN is quite a bit longer, right? Again, the idea here is, to showcase some other models. If you own any of these other knives, then you more or less know a ballpark where this guy lands. Let's then go ahead and do our scientific cutting test, shall we? This test is a very scientific, I promise. So I'm going to forward choke on this one. By the way, I really dig that forward choke right there. I think that was the right call, the right thing to do there. And I'm feeling locked in. So let's see. Bam. All right, 14C, 28N. Putting in work. I think so. We got a toothy edge going on here. This one is brand new out of the box. And so, yeah, it's actually cutting, slicing really good, right? Gotta love 14C, 28N as a budget steel. But let's check out some everyday cardboard as well, right? Remember, when cutting cardboard, don't cut perpendicular, but rather at an angle here like that. I'm gonna forward choke again. By the way, I like that this one has a pokey tip there, kind of lines up with the pivot. And you do have, for a Warncliffe, which is what they have this one classified as, do have quite a bit of belly going on there. So that could also prove to be useful for EDC tasks. But single wall cardboard, without further ado, bam. Yeah, definitely slicing really well with this flat grind. I love that satin finish going on there. And so, yeah, very, very slicey to say the least. You guys rate it in the comments. This is a factory edge, just came out of the box, brand new, right? How sharp is this guy on a scale from 1 through 10? Of course, 10 being the sharpest. Let me know in the comments. Well, there you have it, guys. That is the Cougar from NedFoss. Again, I feel like the company as a whole has stepped up their quality a bit here with this model. The finish looks really good on the scales, right? Nice milling going on. No sharp corners anywhere. Again, my only concern would be, again, the fact that I can actually touch and run my finger through the blade, right? It's a little bit pokey, and maybe it, it just kind of sits flush with the handle there. So if I was to, you know, maybe reach for if it was in the pocket, right? Say I was reaching for my keys or something, and then, you know, maybe I ran my hand like that. I don't know. Perhaps, you know, you always have to make sure you carry your knives where the blade is facing the end of the pocket seam, so it doesn't open on yourself. But even then, you know, if you're running your hand into your pocket, right, and your fingers kind of go like that, you could maybe poke yourself there a little bit. And the fact that I can feel it going like that, you know, it's just a small concern. That would be about the only thing. Why do we have a T6 here and a T7 there? I'm not sure. Maybe it's just this one model. Everything else lines up there. And again, let me see, rock solid, no pivot lash, no side to side, up and down, no issues there at all. Good weight for, you know, the type of material we have for the handles here. So that feels good. Ergonomically, it feels good. Pocket clip feels nice and comfortable. I think they should have done it reversible because, again, a bond lock also makes a good reversible knife, provided you're a lefty and you actually have dexterity in your left hand, which I obviously don't, but you get the idea right here. So out of all the different combinations, I think the Wharncliffe looks the best, but obviously I'm biased because I love Wharncliffe geometry. You got to check out the clip point and definitely check out the drop point as well. See which one you like the most. But yeah, I'm not exactly sure what the price is on this one, but my gut feeling would say the price on these is probably really, really good because, again, NedFoss is all about, you know, providing a good budget price, you know, for a good reachable product. And I think they are, you know, about, you know, growing as a company, right? Increasing their quality. This design right here definitely gives me more, tells me that they thought this out a little bit more. It's more EDC friendly. The forward choking is something that many companies often overlook when they design their EDC knives and such, which, again, we love as knife enthusiasts. So yeah, there's definitely quite a bit more thought going into this one for sure. I also think it's a little bit interesting the way they did this hole here. It kind of sort of looks like the cloth hanger, but not quite, because this design line that starts over here goes all the way through there. So, you know, kind of carries then to the fuller. So that's, again, very unique, very different. Perhaps printing the 14C 28N a little bit shorter, but I mean, for the price that this one probably comes in at, right? Again, I think it's probably going to be a banging deal. Good alignment right out of the box right there. Looks good. 2 standoff sandwich construction. No liners on here. So yeah, ball bearing, smooth. And this one could be a very fidgety knife. I can tell you that. That's exactly the vibe that I'm getting here. It's got to kind of sort of calibrate, right, how much flip of the wrist you got to give it. But yeah, check it out, guys. Again, let me know your thoughts on this one, right? What questions do you have about this knife? You know the drill by now, right? I unboxed the knife, share with you my first impressions, reactions to the knife after checking out so many different designs, right? I give you my first impressions, things that I noticed right off the bat and stuff like that. But obviously I have to carry this knife, which I will here in the very near future. And I will be dropping a comprehensive review on this knife in the channel as well. Definitely subscribe to the channel if you want to stay tuned, find out more about this knife. If you want to check it out and maybe go ahead and pick one up for yourself, it will be linked down below in the description for you to check it out. Again, every knife that you saw in this video will be linked down below. It does help out the channel when you use those links, but that is entirely up to you and at zero extra cost. With that in mind, guys, if you got value out of this video, smashing that like button really tells me you enjoyed it. It helps this video reach a larger audience. Also, if you want to support the channel a step further, there's a link for Patreon down below, or you can simply support the channel right here on YouTube by becoming a channel member. You'll get access to exclusive perks. Check out the unboxing video on the NedFoss W SWAN, right? That was from earlier, a couple of months ago here in the channel. And check out the unboxing video on the Vosteed Talarurus right there on your left. If you made it to the end, you are the real MVP. Thank you so much for hanging out with me here until the end. I love and appreciate every single one of you. Have a wonderful day. Take care, and I'll catch you on the next video, either this one or this one. Peace.